Okay guys, we are here in a new anime called Bogus Skill Fruit Master. I hope you enjoy it. Give it a like and subscribe so you can also eat a fruit. And the anime begins with the explanation of a magic tree, saying that they brought happiness while they introduced us to shining fruits. Then we see some kids talking about the abilities they would like to have. And we see that their names are Lena and Light, and that Light is to be an infant. And that day will be his day to receive a special ability. And Lena says that she wants to have an ability to have the same job as him. Then we see how they arrive at a place to receive an ability and enters. Then we see how he is cutting some fruits, and we see how he enjoys his hobby and says that his dream of adventurer was far away after receiving the ability. And we see a flashback from 3 months ago in which he is entering the place that we saw at the beginning of the video. We see a nun telling him about the special fruits that give abilities to those who eat them. But they will have to work according to the ability of the fruit, but they can only eat one fruit, and if they eat two, they will be poisoned and die. And after telling them the rule, Light tells Lena that all famous adventurers have a very powerful ability, but you should only eat one fruit. And we see how Lena eats her fruit, and her ability is called Holy Sword ability. And the nun tells her that it is a special ability and that she is a chosen one who has been waiting for an adventurer like her for a long time. Light goes to eat a fruit, hoping that it is a combat ability and eats it. But her ability is Fruit Master, and is that she can grow one fruit at a time and reduce her cultivation time. It is not such a bad ability. Boy, if they think about it, haha, we continue. And the nun tells him the obvious that it is not a combat ability. And Lena, to console him, tells him that she will also raise fruits with him, but the Holy Sister tells him not to say nonsense, that her ability is only seen once every decade, and that she must be an adventurer, go to the sacred city and leaves. And the boys say goodbye now in the present. We see how he tries to get excited about his work, but that he feels that he was not born for that. And then he sells the fruits that he made and tells us a great fact that his ability is only good for fruits. Haha. And walking on the street, we see a poster of Lena being rank S in record time, meaning she is a very strong adventurer and receiving popularity. And we see how he trains, saying that one day he will reach Lena even though he does not have a combat skill. And we see how a character called Ayla arrives, who is a girl who lives with Light and brings him water. And we see the story of how the village chief gave it to her, and how they work together. They are going to be together at night, and Light tells her that he has been growing many fruits, and that he also has fruits that give abilities to his house. He tells Ayla not to eat them, and we see the fruits in a corner of the house, but he tells the surprise that he used those fruits to make dinner. Haha, pay attention guys, first protagonist of the channel who has bad luck in life more than me. We continue. We see how Light faints and he apologizes for not telling him about the fruits. Then we see how nothing happens to him, and suddenly he acquires a new ability called God of the Sword, and Ayla also acquires an ability to evaluate the abilities of the fruits. But we see how suddenly she took out a kind of scanner and tells Light that she has an ability that makes him immune to the poison of all fruits, and also has another ability that is God of the Sword, that when he has a sword, increases his attack power and goes to his yard to use a sword and sees how the trees break, being the only one to have 2 skills, and the next day Light. And Ayla went to a guild where there are many adventurers. We see how the children talk about the reward in some monsters, but that they are not there for that, but to join the adventurers and be with Lena. Light goes to reception to have an assignment and leaves Ayla alone. But she evaluates the adventurers who are there to have information. But suddenly, Light looked for a problem with a bully adventurer disrespecting him and attacks him. But Light stops him easily, and the boy cowers and leaves. Then our boys go to do the assignment, and we see that they must capture a slime, and Light for him cuts it easily without feeling the weight of the sword. The only thing he has to do is manage the strength of the sword, and cutting what remains of the slime, they hear the screams of the bully adventurer of guild fighting against an ogre. But the boys see Light and send him the achievement, but Light fights against him, and there she tells him to be careful if he gives him an attack, since his ability only in attack, not in defense, and in what he uses a maximum attack. He thinks of Lena saying that she is going to be at his level and does a super attack called Demonic Cut and splits him in two, and in the reception, we see how he hands over the ogre and the slime. But something happens in the guild, and it is that the S group, the highest rank, is there, and we see Lena enter and Light tries to call her, and when she answers very indifferently, he tells her that he is confusing the person,